An incredible first half out of Valiance, out of nowhere. Seemed like the individual levels just weren't up to par, but here we are, heading to the elusive Map 3. Dust2 is where we're gonna have to end this bout. Dust2 is where we will crown our second grand finalist. Someone's got to join Furia, who are looking fantastic, so let's hope that whoever wins this third map does it in such convincing style.
Please.
That maybe we think they can win it all.
Yeah, and this is a map that Avangar will probably be slightly favored on. They're really good on Dust2. They're probably happy to play this. Probably a little worried themselves by doing so badly on that last map. Inferno was not a very sharp performance. CT sides for both teams. It was kind of just rough for Valiance as well. So overall, maybe, you know, at least Avangar's finished somewhat strong.
Yeah.
Even though they lost. So yeah, it's so hard to read what the hell is going on right now. Just the biggest thing is like, how easy is this final going to be for Furia, especially if Dust2 isn't convincing. So hopefully they can clean their act up. Going to go into the most useless knife round of any map, I'd say.
Do you have any particular sentiments about this third map, Launders? Is there something you want to see out of Avangar? Is there something you expect from Valiance?
Yeah, so what's going to be fun to watch for Avangar is they're extremely good at controlling rotations. When they're on T side, James is so good at opping both mid on T side and on CT side, and so he's going to spend a lot of time on catwalk looking for kills. And if Valiants are too scared to deal with him at mid, then that's where they'll lose. And I'm really looking forward to when there's 3v3 situations where James still alive and they're able to juggle the CTs and really abuse those spots. So it's going to be a knife round in favor of. We'll find out.
Sanji's off for the clutch, bro.
Looking for the 1v1.
4K knife round, huh?
Make it happen.
Oh, they're just dancing with one another.
Ultimate standoff. And I actually want to know if they're going to start T-side or not. Oh, Letney is the one who wins.
I'm excited to see whether or not Letney can transition his form from Inferno onto this third map, because again, he's not one of the names we particularly looked at coming into the series nor this tournament, and yet when there was the most pressure on the line, when they were facing elimination on the start of Inferno, Buddy popped off.
Yes, he did look so good as a pit player, roaming around on the A site. A few of those rounds, if they gave him up, I mean, Avangar actually could have won the map, all things considered. He was stopping their lane takes, left, right, and center. And do we have Valiant starting on the CT side or not? I don't know if they swapped or... Let's see.
Let's check the all chat. Avangar is ready on the T side.
Okay.
So Valiance chose to begin on the defense.
Yeah, I think if, you know, depending on this half, this is kind of where I want to see Avangar play. So I don't know. Valiants feel confident. This could be good signs for them.
Hunter's readied up, so Valiant's ready to go. They've made the call. Game begins on their terms, and we will fly into the server shortly. Dust2, an unknown quantity at times. Tough to predict, just like this series, because once Avangar kind of flubbed that second map, I feel like everything's out the window. So let's just lay it down on the line. Furia awaits in the grand finals here in Rio de Janeiro, and our third map of this series begins.
Esperanto not shy at mid. 2 or 3 Ts up in the tunnels, 2 moving towards lower. Bomb crosses to the right, and it's Kickert to have a smoke in his right hand. What does he want to do with it, though? Is it for a long control smoke? The CTs, again, being very fluid at the moment. They're still 3 at A, but they've got so much info on mid, they're ready for a fast rotate. 3 deady long, and the bomb's now crossed back. I don't know if that's to confuse the bomber who is spotted, potentially. But this might be a job for Letney and Hunter to deal with.
It's going to be tough. How long do they keep these 3 dedicated long? And they haven't seen anything. They don't want to push in to figure this out. They're not looking for information or anything. They just want to play responsively.
Fast rotate.
Is that playing responsibly? Spotting bodies. Letney going to fall off with a flashbang, trying to deter the push through mid, and it's a good flash. Very blind were the 3 players behind Fitch. Now, none of them are dead yet. Letney trying to challenge. Hunter's added a headshot to the tally, and then some. Otto comes in from behind, fast rotate through CT spawn, where Kicker does close down on just one. It's a man disadvantage working against Avangar, but they have a chance if they can kill Hunter, because then the bomb site is theirs. They'll find him. Buster eventually gets it. Nexa quickly takes his place, charges through the doors, taps back into Plat, hits the carrier. Now it falls onto just Kicker. He's pinned into the corner. They're gonna try to duel, but he has to cover, and Otto's back into the site. Has he run out of ammo? Yes, he needs the reload. He'll get it. And then he's taken down. Valiance winning out on pistol.
A little bit of spaghetti at the end there. He had to pull off the reload if possible, or just hit that last bullet and couldn't do it. So Otto gets a better room. Liked Otto's rotate, especially through the smoke or from top mid. I don't know if he pushed through long, but he was able to backstab a player that put pressure on B. The B split worked out pretty well for Avangar. I think they got the rotations they wanted. They held all those players in that long setup, and Valiance were certainly expectant of a play, not a B player. So Valiance going ahead and pick that one up as big. Strong CT side start already. They move into this round with 2 SMGs. And Avangar have actually picked up 3 AKs off of that plant. It's a big buy. Very hefty. Hunter takes position in the tunnels. Will he be cleared? Maybe
Doesn't
not.
seem so.
Ooh.
Trigger discipline. Oh, wow, that's fast. Dude,
Good reactions.
that's some good MP5 shots. I thought to myself, like, yeah, Buster's got him. You know, maybe, even then I thought maybe Hunter was just going to try to fight Buster and then flick over to the player with his back turned, but no, he just gets the confirmed kill. And surprisingly to me, is afforded his retreat. But he doesn't go too far. He sticks close to the tunnel exit, wants to play that MP5 up close. And a smoke meets the T's as they had just arrived for the push.
Becoming more and more clear every round. There's a daunting amount of individual skill on Valiance. And it's just a much freer round for them. Avangar look to push through the smoke into B. And they've got close positions ready for this. It's a walkout too. Could be a free kill. Nope, not the first one, and it's a good couple of entries. Very nicely done from Avangar.
Damn, Sanji. Doesn't even give him a chance to trade. Now we're gonna have an MP9, FOMIS, and AUG on the retake with 4 flashbangs and no other utility. At least to their favor, Avangar can't lie down any smokes, can't use a molly, so the counter-terrorists can come in on their own terms, but you'd think it comes with a blanket of flashbangs. You offset the crosshairs, blind these defenders, and then try to sneak your way through, and it's worked.
Oh.
Flashes are decent, but Sanji's giving great cover, and Buster, with a kill of his own, only has Otto now to deal with. Otto's gonna try to fight the man in tunnels, needs to chase him down, and he instead put to sleep. Avangar forced by to their own success.
Yeah, that was, as you pointed out, really good from Sanji because his 2 other teammates were totally blind. So he had to peek out from the tunnels, made sure they couldn't get into the window easily. And what is going on?
That's actually during the round. Are you kidding?
Wait, what?
That was during the round because Buster got a kill.
Okay. And yeah, this is James. He is the king of these doors.
If you don't know James, that's a good introduction.
He will hit you crossing.
Expect more of those.
He will hit you crossing a lot.
More of that. Scout up in Letney. There's a chance Valiance move this back to the A site. Flash bangs aplenty for Valiance as well, but we already have Avangar very close to the cross. Molotov shouldn't be an issue. Nexa, he's gonna find timing here. These flashbangs are actually, so good. Esperanto with 2 kills puts us into the 3v3. There's a chance that they try to throw some kind of a boost, but Kickert responds so quickly back that it's a very real problem.
Oh, he doesn't want to jump up, pop up as Sanji peeks. No, he's gonna go for the CZ frag, and it's in.
Now the smoke is there with the bomb just on the other side. Letney's gonna use this opportunity to move that scout back around Cat and try to get into the mix as James gets bomb. Nexa stuck in his position, and instead of catwalk, they're gonna use this opportunity to move all the way towards long. Scout's at a prime spot now, back turned even, but okay, almost missed his chance. James gonna have to go big with an AK. 2 CTs coming at him, Scout at a distance, pistol close, pops the noggin of Nexa, but it's right through the box. And Valiance with Avangar are just going tit for tat, back and forth these first 3 rounds.
Really nice eco round there. Flash through the smoke at long. The chain flashes, in fact, as Esperanto comes out to help his teammate, gets the 2 kills for himself. They play it very patiently from there. A nice boost from Nexa, and Nexa doesn't get crazy with it, doesn't go over top of the rim, doesn't try to get behind default or rush them on the ramp. Instead, plays as patiently as Avangar, just really just waits them out, and it ends up being the correct play. Molotov into the long doors. On this round from the CTs, and mid is kind of open at this moment, but Valiant are Valiance are more concerned about sights here, as it's just pistols. And in fact, not a single thing upgraded or a single dollar invested. Was Kicker on Cat looking at the back of Cat? Like,
Yes.
he was like defending it like a CT with a knife out.
Don't worry, guys. I'm holding Cat. Yeah, I guess he's really not expecting to get pushed here, huh?
So you're talking about stuff.
Glocks, Launders. 5 of them.
This would be something special.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
Otto just taps into the heads of 3.
That was a cool way to run a distraction.
Yeah. That it was. Finch last walk up, down for the count as Valiance establish a 2-round lead.
Solid round from Otto. Really clean stuff with the AUG. Valiance up 3-1. You know, everyone predicted 2-1 Avangar.
Yeah.
I thought 2-0 Avangar.
Potter said 2-0 Avangar.
Oh yeah, and here it's looking like it could be 2-1 for Valiance. The individual skill is insane, man. Hunter is like so good. Hunter, Nexa, Esperanto. Like Nexa's kind of like quietly in the back, like just getting kills when he needs to. But Hunter and Letney are very up front right now, and this used to be the Esperanto show.
Actually, Potter said either 2-0 Avangar or if Valiance win, it has to be 2-1. So,
Okay.
in hindsight, she's spot on. Hunter continues to spot on mid. Frag grenade to give chase to Fitch. Does negligible damage. How do Avangar pop their way back into this 5th round? They're man down. They have cat control once more, which they've been given quite often. There's no op to counter that of Jame, but these AUGs can give it a good run for its money. And there is one positioned on ramp, so technically scope v scope.
A lot of time will be burnt off the clock as James scours out mid, make sure that there's nobody playing the close doors. And in the situation, Valiance have fallen back. Overstacked today for sure. Solid position to deal with this cat play, especially up a man. A few smokes here, but no Molotovs. That's the big one. Could be an emergency rotate back to B, but I don't really see them doing that, especially with their long player here.
Esperanto's done a good job of keeping himself in cover, but the terrorists get that much closer now. That was a team splash that prevents his peak. They do not expect Otto, but or do they? They answer in with 2 kills now. James been lost, but Nexa and Hunter, they've clean sweep that bomb site. Down to the 5-second mark. Kickert's just gonna try to die. Will kill somebody, and almost after time. That would have been so costly.
That would have been rough, yeah, for sure. That comes down to just Valiance knowing that it's going to be having every advantage in the book. Avangar didn't have any Molotovs. Could have mollied out Goose, could have mollied out the site ramp. Those are kind of imperative Molotovs, some would say, and instead, there's so many rotations in for Valiance. It's really hard for them to lose, especially with that 3-man setup and 1 at Goose. This is the round that they were expecting. Otto goes ahead and takes Fitch out of spawn. Jame goes down early too. It's a round where they upgrade a little bit.
Bombs in spawn.
Yeah.
Avangar's in tunnels.
Not bad.
Hello. Good deagle shot. I recently saw a video where Counter-Strike pros were asked who has the best deagle. And yeah, Nico's your answer? That was a very popular answer. There was also...
You gonna go with Kicker?
No, I was just gonna say Sanji's actually given me a couple to be proud of. I would say if you have to answer that, like who has the best deagle, you're looking at Nico, Simple, and I think an underrated answer would be Lekro. Yep. Read my mind. Stop reading my mind.
You're blowing my mind.
Oh! Sanji. Speak of the devil.
That was good timing.
Yeah, it was, eh? It's a good time to have that conversation.
Yeah. That was a very nice shot. He's gotten very important duel kills. It's always like he's ecoing. It is 3-on-3. Valiance can sit pretty. Letney will be happy to take these fights. August just so favored now, especially on this spot. Into the back of this, you can see through everything. These tiny pixels don't matter. Oh, but Saji, dude, he's so precise.
Making an argument for himself. He's going to go ahead and lay down the bomb as the AUG falls back on Kicker. 6 seconds as the plant finally... Oh, no. Oh, Sanji. Oh, he still got it, but just barely, and Kicker will get another kill. The CTs are actually inside of the bomb site now. I don't know if they realized he was in here. Esperanto, kind of caught in no man's land, is going to try to deal with Sanji first, but he gets hit from behind. Sanji, with 2 deagle shots, just cracks open the site.
What was that?
I'm flabbergasted.
I can't believe the bomb, it was like a fake plant, but it was an accident. It's like he got off it early, and then they still let him take it. Yeah, that was a nice shot, man. This one was also crazy. Yeah, it was a good entrance into the site. That retake should not have been hard at all.
I wanted to praise him because of the deagle shots, but I almost had to make fun of him because he flubbed the plant.
Yeah.
Good thing he came up with just enough time for what?
Maybe just the Molotov to make it seem like it was in the tunnel as they were, but it would only work obviously if they didn't peek.
Yeah. And yet the
let
op was waiting.
Let their guard down a little bit.
Juggles the MP5, keeps the MP9.
Definitely do not need to be in this situation, but they have made their bed. Letney, is it going to push? Oh, it's just jumping up. Start waiting this one out. Okay, goodbye, sir.
Uh-oh, Otto.
And next is only going to seize long, but it's another round that could be stolen back from Valiant. Doesn't feel like it, but it is kind of a swing situation. I think Avangar will be buying next round, though, no matter what.
Yeah. Next up, dropped by Sanji. Heard him coming, but by clearing corners, he's got himself, and his teammates up towards Long A. Bomb's going to be planted most certainly, and Otto can't even further it with another kill. So 1 casualty for Avangar as they win a 3rd round.
Swing it back, and they're here to tie it up. Fitch gives him the nice shot. Otto says, TY. Very GM. 2K per player on Valiance. Nothing invested. They've had very, very, very dry ecos both sides. No one buying anything, especially, I guess, there's just not as much of a reason for it, at least on CT side, especially if you can avoid it. Avangar go for long control. We saw this got hairy for Avangar the last time they came up towards A.
They know these players have to be on site, though, because no flashbangs, nothing for the cross. They saw the 2 bodies go over. They just got to sniff them out.
Now it's playing kind of a rifle setup, which is pistols. It's not going to do much.
Not even good pistols.
The T's encroach.
Frag grenade meant to deter anybody from putting through smoke, and that's not even a part of this puzzle. Counter-terrorist just sitting back, trying to relax, but it's tough when you're being bombarded by grenades, smokes and flames, and gunfire on top of it all. Plant for Avangar, 4th round, most certainly theirs for the taking. This was a good start from Valiance, but it's starting to turn the other way.
Yeah, it's the final chapter for one of these teams, and in this game, there's already been kind of a swing round where Avangar won that pistol because of Sanji's amazing 1D entries. Valiants have to shake that off and get back in focus. I think they're already off to a good start. I assumed definitely Avangar's T side will be better than their CT side, but they'll definitely be strong on both. These are a couple of clean anti-ecos. They made a lot of money come back into this. Letney and Hunter stay alive, avoid giving an extra $300 away for no reason. And they will now buy Otto immediately. Pulls the trigger on the op.
That's fair. He's been connecting some clean shots in mid, but he's got his eyes set on long. Plays off spawn. James could do the same, but instead he'll go down mid. 4 players long. Or 3. Lots of bodies. Avangar could shift this in through mid if needed, but they're going to play it safe. There's a lot on the line, and they know that Valiants are finally back in with a purchase of their own.
Wow, this is a crazy stack. And they're coming out.
Nice
Awesome flash.
I love good flashbangs.
I know. Still 4 CTs over here. There's no one up at mid, and Avangar aren't really excavating mid at all.
Oh, Letney. He's just tucked away. He's got his fingers and his toes crossed.
Will they clear this? Oh,
he just gave it up.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is. That's an opening.
God-awful timing.
Suddenly just a more than impossible sight to retake. They can give it a shot. They get one bullet in. That's actually pretty decent. Esperanto's going to look for some spam through the smoke. Has to take a step into the door to obviously get the spam damage in. Risked not dying, but it was probably worthwhile.
That one kill is what shifts this back into the favor of Avangar.
It's kind of risky to play fence if you don't have
Support.
if you don't have anyone at mid in particular. So even though they didn't come from mid, like if you're at fence and they come up to the door and they come up to the window, you're screwed. If they come out of tunnel, you're in a pretty good situation, maybe for 1 or 2 kills. Can't really fall back from there. So there's only a good argument for it, even if you at least have someone outside the doors to maybe draw attention away from you. But there's a lot of ways that could go wrong. So kind of a risky spot to play, probably, for Letney in that situation. Maybe he was expecting his teammates to rotate back sooner, but clearly got a little worried in those last few moments. And Avangar picked a good site to hit. Really, Sanji's the star of the show right now. We're into round 10. James got one scout shot off on doors.
Yeah, hasn't really been able to do, substantial damage through mid doors.
It's always kind of miraculous when he does it anyway. It's always like just on a guess through the door as they're jumping across. But they've been smoking the cross.
And they haven't really been challenging it either.
Yeah.
The few times we've seen Otto kind of prying back the other way, it's been his shots on point.
Yeah. Which is good, like if you're opping, you should actually be looking for rifle kills, not op kills, because those are harder. Putting your whole team at risk going up against another op most of the time. Aggressive cat set up. And, shot goes off, but he comes back for redemption. James
Trades. Esperanto and Fitch will do the exact same thing. Now Nexa's going to have to retreat off of long because Cat is in open avenue.
Look how much they slowed it down. There's no push into long doors Kicker was hoping for. Nexa's just going to try to get in the face of things, and it ends up being successful.
Yeah, it works. James very wary of his flank. Kicker has to get activated now. Can't just sit back and let his teammates do the heavy lifting. Tries to molly the player out of position. Kicker just barely gets back into the corner, and now Nexa, he knows he's being pushed, so he drops that bomb, and Kicker can't even return towards long because Nexa's nailed them both.
Holy man. Yeah, so Nexa knows that it's not safe to sit on the site, especially if you lose long control, so he goes up to the off angle on Cat, kills James as well at the end, and deals with the Molotov that comes his way from long control late. There's no way to shoot him in the side of the head. Stays very active and has to do that, but it's also good that his teammates traded at least 1-for-1 on Cat. It was a tricky spot, and Otto missed his first shot. You'd think, oh man, maybe they're just gonna die, but that wasn't the case. 4 outs along one more time. Bomb outside here, stationed by the T's. It's a tie game now. And very close to Oh. I'd assume that Hunter saw that. Oh, wow. There it is. Those are the picks that James loves to get. Sitting up on Cat, perched there. What on earth?
I'm assuming that was meant for Xbox?
But he didn't really give it his best shot, I feel like.
His teammate's like, hey, can you smoke for me? Get it out.
You throw it. Here.
You want to smoke? Have this. Not quite what he had in mind, but Valiance will have to play the rest of the round from behind, seeing as Hunter's down first. Double op still in play for Valiance. How do they use that to their strengths?
Man, these slow Bs are scary, and Kicker's come out to long. He doesn't get a kill, so that's something. It's a free one back to Valiance.
Lightning's going to have to solo B. This time he's not playing from the cubby, but rather the back of Platt. And he hits Sanji in the background first, then the follow-up into the brains of Fitch. How about a 3-piece? Yes, sirree! Give me the 4th. He's seen James. and James wants out. He dodges back towards spawn. He is gone. Valiance have taken the lead.
That was nice. Good hold. And because of all the walkouts, you got to appreciate the adjustment. To grab the second off, to have Auto stay in there, ends up working out beautifully. You know, Avangar thinking, okay, well, they're responding to that. Fair play. Now they have to work on something new.
Counter-terrorists win. 4 in a row from Avangar. Now 2 back from Valiance. Good thing they didn't just get reset. Got 2 extra rounds of loss bonus piled up from Avangar. They're gonna go ahead and buy up everything they can. This second shot was nice.
Yeah, super good.
Op was so on cycle.
Very patient, and it's hard to do anything about that if you're coming through the tunnel. It's a lot of ground to cover, moving straight ahead, and then also having to worry about being peeked. So round 11 wrapped up. Valiance take a small lead. James again perched up on Cat. Don't ask this man to smoke mid to B. And it looks like Avangar will move into a fast A play. They've got Cat control. A step gets taken by Sanji. Esperanto's on the ramp. There's 3 players here. No one's moved into Goose quite yet. So if Avangar move quickly, this might be very powerful.
Tries to meet their smoke with his own Molotov. Frags, not gonna get too much done. Will buy a good bout of time. Now that next volley of nades comes over the top, Avangar, they're gonna commit to this with numbers. But Valiance also have numbers here on site. Esperanto with the first fight in his back pocket. Buster's gonna trade this one, and Kickert hits the head of Nexa. Kickert hits another headshot. Pushes it onto Otto, whose op can't fire off. And while he does have a teammate, both of them playing snipers, so this is gonna get tough, but when the tough gets going, maybe Valiance get going too. Otto's still up here on the ramp, and he's put down. Kickert, 4 kills, all headshots, doing the work himself.
That might have been 1 mag too. Just ran out of bullets at the end there.
Ooh.
Very clean. A few bullets each kill. Not going for crazy sprays. All headshots for him. He will take that and run with it.
Now he's gonna run out long.
Both teams having to work very hard for these rounds. And he's got the bomb up front. Go out with it, or it's just here to throw nades, maybe bait some nades out in response. Want to take it late. 3 from Valiance on the B side of the map now. It's an early read. Does feel pointless for Valiance to work on long control in the first few seconds of the round because Avangar have not just kind of exploded out for it with all of their nades. And sometimes Valiance, in their long control, they use 4 players. You know Avangar's always got their eyes on Cat as well.
I would not want to be Nexa.
In general or in this round?
In this round in particular. That's why. Wow. Kickert swings out. Kickert's on point right now. 14 and 7. 4 kills in the previous round, and the opening one here in the 13th.
Positively boinked. And Avangar go right back to what they love, B, but there's still an op here. Oh wait, is that Otto? No, it's not. Letney.
Yep.
Oh, and Kickert, dude. What was that? 6 kills in a row? Okay, finally traded.
Hunter's gonna try to get up to the door. You know Letney's wary.
Wow, yeah.
James waiting for him to pop up,
though. 3
though.
are here from the CTs.
Letney can't stand. Letney stands, James gonna nail him. Unless that Molotov actually disrupts the entirety of these Ts. They're trying to flush him out as Fitch comes in from mid. Otto, now he hears it. He's gonna peek back and dies. 4 versus 1, just Hunter on Car. They are gonna clear it from so many different angles. They kind of put them into the B site and then strangled them from the outside in.
Yeah. I thought Fitch's flank was going to be useless. He was up there on Cat. He was throwing the smoke, but there was no one on the A site to even respond to it. And then he ended up being very useful coming up to mid doors, denying, I believe it was Hunter in the door itself. And Letney had tons of pressure put on them. He realized that his best bet is to try to stay alive because if he's at K-Sharp, no one's going to move up the tunnels quickly, knowing there could be someone else in the site. And yeah, Avangar take a small lead. Wells follow up with another kill on this Antico. Deagle down. Sanji making progress. CT's quite grouped, and yeah, got the attention of Sanji.
Now you know Hunter's gonna get a deep shot. Nice frag. Esperanto on shaky legs. Dropped to the op. Splattered on the box. What did the CTs do? They don't have a flashbang to activate. They don't really have much to work with, really, so eventually Avangar are going to walk into them and probably slay them all. But they'll put up a fight.
Oh, the perfect Molotov. I wonder if that spreads to elevator as well.
More smoke, being very thorough with their utility here, trying to minimize any mistakes. And you gotta love that. Pistols actually managed 2 kills. James gonna clear with a pistol of his own and the AK spray, and the bomb retrieved, but Kickert's tagged up. So is Hunter, just taking shots as he tries to creep through smoke. 8-6 now. Avangar extending their lead towards the end of this half.
It's a tight race, but yes, Avangar starting to pull ahead. They traded right in the beginning of the map, so it's hard to say that the pistol had much influence. Avangar looking for 9, and Valiance almost pulled it back just on those pistols. They don't have a kit this round. They do have an M4, and Kickert's got an off shot. He's just going to drop this for an AK as well. James could take this run down mid. How aggressive will he get, though?
I don't like Sanji anymore.
A big kill.
He's trying to use that space made by the 5v4.
If James turns a bit, oh yeah, okay. I don't even know who wins this, honestly. It just comes down to crosshair placement.
Hunter's gonna be challenged, pop back up, and he gets popped himself. There's Esperanto removed. The entirety of the B site cracked wide open. Valiance gonna have to attempt one final retake towards this B site. They've got the double Molotov, they have a smoke, but Kickert's gonna cut him off, you'd think. Oh, my Nexa.
Yeah, they've got to go for it, obviously. It's gonna be quite a Hail Mary. There's also some utility left over for window, but it doesn't actually hit.
But they're just going to walk into the Kalashnikovs. And there's a flank out through mid now. Kickert's looking to hit him from behind. Will drop Nexa first. Auto responds. Time is his biggest issue. Or is it the 3 weapons that are still trained on him? Regardless, it's Avangar with a 9th round in the first half. They close with the final 4, and that's definitely going to help them once they switch over to the CT side, which is where we'll be after this brief break. Three rounds the difference for Avangar as they switch to the CT side, and it's crucial that they close that half on a strong note because I have faith, personally, in Valiance's offense. Launders, that's where we find ourselves, the final half of the semifinals here at DreamHack Rio. Furia await. And the question remains, who will win this map?
I have no idea. I could not tell you myself. Pistol round could dictate a lot. Long control out, you can see T looking to the sky, ready to throw a cross smoke. I don't know if it's just going to be the one. They do have hunters as well. Doesn't seem like they want to act on this quite yet. They have now started to run. They're keeping it simple. Hunter smoke will finally plume. This attracted the talent and attention of the CTs. And the bomb might quickly go down on the site, actually. He's not in good protection, however.
Oof. Kickert takes one to the head. Otto's going to watch that flank. Has the advantage of the shadow. Whoa, Otto. Gets the job done eventually. 4 versus 4 still. CT's coming in on their retake, and the P250 of Nexa will hit the mark. It's going dry, though. 1 shot. Reloads in. 13 bullets total. He's got to be cautious. Down to the final 6. And he's going to get himself into the 2v1. It's Buster trying to work his way upwards. Nexa, last bullet headshot to win out the second pistol.
Classic Nexa, man. He's been doing really well. It's Kickert who's shining right now in Avangar, which is a great sign for Avangar. It's kind of like third piece of the puzzle for them. James and Hanji, I guess, are probably number 1 and 2 right now. But they've just they've had middling performances, at least in the last map. For the CTs, pistols only over towards B. Some kind of stack, always good to see. Bomb gets traded hands, goes into lower, and it's everybody holding here for some pushes. How fast will Valiant's T side be?
I'd love to see them kind of kick it up a gear, because Avangar's, wasn't anything ridiculous.
Yeah.
In terms of quickness.
For sure.
But, I mean, that's also something we kind of talk about Avangar for is, meticulous setups, eventual executions.
The go slow. It's a stack that will be avoided, it looks like, as the bomb is going to go up cat.
How disappointing.
Now, Letney, will he just be offered up a bunch of kills? They push through tunnels, they're going to run back through mid. This is the only question that remains.
Ooh. Good shots by Fitch.
Oh, yeah.
Ambitious Kickert shots. Getting curious inside of the tunnels. Valiant's trying to wrap around this. I mean, you'd think the MAC-10 and the MP5 go hunting. But Hunter is already on a quarter health, so maybe he keeps himself up. That Kevlar's valuable, and so is his Molotov. But Otto wants money to buy an op. Come here.
They're looking for these. Oh, I don't know. If I was letting you in. Yeah, I guess Hunter's too low. And they'll let it ride. Closer to tying up. Valiant's been pretty good on these pistols. Didn't count for much in the first half, but the second one they follow up on nicely. 1 round the difference. Later portion of the half. Doesn't seem like anyone's going to run away with this, but we have yet to see what Valiants want to and have saved for this rifle round. It's going to be a tough one. Avangar's got great guns. 4 AUGs. AWP on Jame. It's a glass cannon for Jame, though.
Not exactly where he wants to be, but his shots are swift enough. May never be a problem. Valiance to the bottom of middle. Plenty of utility to play with. And no real contest in terms of map control here out of Avangar. They are sitting on the extremities, waiting on the sites.
You might feel it's a bit dangerous. Jame is in a good position to not get naded. A site's well fortified. Looks like a boost is coming in. I'm not expecting a run boost here, but... Oh, Esperanto. He's got eyes on target. Now, that would be cleared no matter what, so it's only going to tell him so much. Most important thing is the Goose player, but they have enough Molotovs just for the full exec. Let's see if they try to pull it off. And if they use their long player as well, it's a big question.
Yeah, that's the long player that's going to have to face versus Jame. So close smoke just meant to give them space. Deep smoke blocks off any potential op here from Carr, but Jame takes the high road, stands on the roof of it. Sanji towards ramp, trying to spray into the heads of Hunter, who has been able to close the gap with that MAC-10. But where's the bomb?
Bomb's not going down.
Nope, it's been dropped in the process, and nobody really wants to pick it up and move forward, but they have to. There's 30 seconds, gotta go.
Yeah, they're scared.
If only Otto could just throw it over. But
CT's roam over. And
he's done it, okay.
A late cat flank, too.
He's gonna try to get this plant. They're not gonna go for the jump shots. MAC-10 still just Goose egging the bomb now. Oh, so many players coming up from the ramp, and it's Hunter with a double Mac 10 spray. James tries to exit. He gets the kill towards the long player, I believe. No, not even. That man just went towards Cat instead.
He'll get melted, man. He's not got a lot of health to work with. Yeah, he doesn't have armor either. Can't believe Hunter gets those 2 Mac 10 kills. That seemed like easy frags for Avangar to move up on the ramp. They had him in a great spot. As you mentioned, with no bomb plant there, time taken down, CTs were just getting into better and better positions. Slowly but surely. What a way to tie up. Scary scenes here for Avangar. They have bought up some utility, but it is overall a save. Decent T-side grenade.
The power of Zeus.
Live odds are tight.
Oh, where's that catwalk? All right, Fish will take an AK. Happily. Be careful. There is a Zeus indoors. James, one of my favorite Zeus players. Put him up there with like Ricky, another notorious Zeuser.
Seems like they're a little worried.
Just shoot the wall. Right in the middle.
They could flush this out with... Oh, they don't have any... Oh, they have Molotovs, yeah. They have 4. Stop being stingy. Oh, that's a good bait for James, actually.
All the temptation is there for James to peek.
They're going to run by.
Not going to happen, though. Yeah, he hears this moving, so... Molotov's meant to prevent his push, but he will still trudge through it. Sanji on the ramp.
CTs have long control.
We talked about his dirty deeds. Here's James. Oh, another headshot. Good job by Hunter and Esperanto to clear that site, give them space to play with, but Kicker, because James was so quick, also comes to join him, and Fitch still has that AK from the get-go. 2 versus 2. They know there's a player back on Cat, but they have no clue where Fitch has got off to. Oh, there you go, element of surprise. Knows that Nexa is here, but Nexa answers.
Wow, man, he's making a big rotate for not having a kit.
He's just got to run it. I mean, to be fair, Nexa is going to be on full display, but he does expect Esperanto, or excuse me, Kicker, what am I saying, to be coming off of
He doesn't have time to win the round now.
But he's got the shot.
Is there a kid somewhere there?
No.
That's so weird. Why do that? He could have just continued on Cat. They had control of it.
What doing?
Indeed. And there was no reason for his teammate to have to take the fight before he was anywhere near as well, and it would have been just a simple trade. He was behind default. So... strange rotation to me, but yeah, he gets the kill. Op changes hands. Avangar lose the lead. Yeah. Oh, they actually, yeah, they keep the op and buy another one. So Buster's going to be using it. I'm not sure where he is. It'll be a Valiance type setup with him over in the B site. New Dust2, there's just way more attention to Cat than ever before. These full execs are so powerful. You know that Avangar had an affinity for B, and I think Valiance are just banking on them, and Avangar are banking on Valiance doing the exact same thing. But we have yet to see why that would be true. Once again, no one laid long. Letney clearing out things by himself, trying to bait out an op shot, if there is one. I don't love the spots on the A site, but they've used Goose before and it's got called out. It's just that with full grenades, you know, default is going to eat a lot of utility damage. It looks like Valiance will work out mid here. Sometimes this is all a ruse, but it seems like here they're going to commit that third smoke to really lock it in.
Kicker welcomes him through the window. He has a teammate watching on tons. There's just 1 player there and 4 coming in off mid. Boy, Kicker actually gets circumvented. They're all going to go through the door instead. And Hunter's been cleared out from the corner, or Buster rather. Kicker's still in here. Imagine if he gets that close range headshot. Now Hunter off the balcony. The scaffolding plays to his advantage. Traded yet again, but leaving Avangar at a disadvantage. Valiance staring an 11th round in the face.
That was a tough one. The setup on A was a little strange. The setup on B was also a little strange. They didn't really do anything to help themselves for the mid players to come out into B. I guess they were relying that the op from Buster would be enough with a teammate in the site, but they didn't block out any choke point. Kickert stayed under the window, just waited there for them to come in, and then Buster just died slowly in the back of the site. So disappointing from Avangar to lose that way, especially when they kind of wanted somebody to come B. Like, why else would they have the second op?
Right.
But Valiance make a smart choice, avoiding the 3-man stack over towards A.
They just lost their op.
Ah.
And why? That's my question. Why?
It's a big find. Yeah.
What are you still doing in T-spawn?
And they have to go ahead and purchase another one, which they will. It's pretty much imperative that you have an op on Dust2 these days.
Right.
Whether you have two, you can go ahead. You can have one at mid, one at A.
James falling there when he had planned on saving is the reason Sanji has to play MP9. So let's see if that comes back to bite Avangar. Because it would have been an easy save, but I can't see the point of trying to get exits. Little utility on top of it all, now that they've thrown out some initial volleys. Really trying to cement themselves in that B site, huh?
Yeah, it seems so. I don't know if they're going to wait for a push. Wait to push, I should say. But Valiance are doing all the regular stuff. Up on Cat. There's no one here to fight. James has never gone aggressive here on Cat either. Not really his style, but probably something he should think about. And it's a read, but it might be paying off. Valiance look like they want to go towards B. It's overstacked, but it is with that MP9 on Sanji.
He still has a smoke, as does Fitch and Buster. So every single remaining piece of utility for Avangar is inside of this B site.
Well, that's a positive sign.
They smoke off both avenues, leave the window open for the time being, still hold on to the frag and double flash. Fitch hiding behind the car. It's Sanji's MP9 to come in with 2. Buster just the 1. This MP9 has actually managed 3 frags on the round. It dies eventually to Otto, who in a 1v3 finds himself just facing 2 and has time to plant if he prioritizes it.
Ah, outside the molly. Did he come through? Is it Hurd?
No, I don't think so. He's not going to expect... Oh, yo! There was a chance, but Kickert going to close it. 23 kills for him. And that MP9 works out.
The overstack works well. Valiance go back to exactly what worked for them before, and Avangar are like, well, they'll probably do that. The extra man ends up being very valuable. The 2 ops are recovered, which is also very good. And yeah, here, probably a much better way to hold on to the window. Wow, that's actually insane. They all knew where he was, too.
Yep. Big man Sanji.
Scribbles all over them with that MP9.
Close.
High game, round 22.
Yep. Close as could be. Double op still a part of the equation here for Avangar. Single sniper for Otto.
Again, this 3-man setup and a lot of attention to be for the CTs. Buster could find a good angle here. Yeah, that's a kill.
It's going to draw them in. Esperanto has managed to get past, but Sanji's going to hold his trigger. He then does come out, but just for 1. Buster, still close smoke, only has the best Otto, and he knows that Otto's near. Woo. There you have it. That's some close proximity op shots for Avangar to tie things up again.
Oh yeah, you got real racy going through a smoke that close up. Buster, good job, man. The nades went over his head. He got in front of one by that smoke, found a kill in a tough spot. Put together 3 for his team. A huge reason they're able to pull off that hold. Valiance don't have enough money to buy. And is this where Avangar slowly walk away with it one more time?
Going for the aggro mid. Just playing against the pistols that shouldn't be able to do too much. Top mid pick, bottom mid pick, cap pick, dead. That's a round that comes to a close pretty quickly. Avangar find themselves back in the lead. Hell, it didn't even cost them grenades, Mohan.
Yeah, there's buy up here, but there's no op, I don't think. Oh, there is. Yeah, Nexa drops one. Okay. Well, that's something going. The huge utility advantage is going to be is good. I wonder if Avangar are going to play 3B again. I don't think they would this time. It'd be kind of risky for Valiance to think about going there again. But that just strengthens the A defense so much. Kicker's close door immediately. Flash goes high. Auto falls off. Fitch is aggressive on Cat, which is good because they've been going up on Cat for free way too many times. Auto desperately looking for an engagement here at long. And I don't know if they're going to flash over. It's actually a smoke. And it plumes. Ooh. Shoot. Whoa. Really delaying it there.
Pickert's gonna hear a bit of movement. Pitch is ready. Got the shadow advantage, and Kickert comes in from the bottom of mid. Good setup there for Avangar. Nets them 3 kills near simultaneously. And now Valiance are a little strapped. Sure, they can get back their bomb control. It's not being overly contested. But they walk right into the lying weight of Jame.
Yeah, it's about time Jame started forward-facing on Cat and that they had aggressive Cat setups. Like how careful they were at long. Otto lives. He's gotten a kill. The only one actually in this round for Valiance, but that's what we want to see from the CTs. And James starting to turn it up a little bit. They're getting funneled into all of their favorite spots, and B has been shut down twice. So Valiant's running out of options here. They're probably scared to do anything at this point, and they can't even go back to their bread and butter, which is Cat. Another save here, a half force. Kills are actually pretty high for Otto. He's had a hell of a game, but it's not amounting to much at this point.
Now we're getting into the closing portion of this third map as well. Final 6 rounds are upon us. Back into the B setup, Avangar, heavy presence. What are Valiants gonna do with all these grenades? They could just try and blanket their way to the A site, and that's been pretty much left for their taking. Just Jame on car to try and hold.
Tight 2-man setup at long. Sanji works back towards A, waiting for a flash, is now a little bit worried. Kind of out of position. Uh-oh.
He's gonna flash up
counter
high.
utility. They got to force rotates fast.
Now the question is, do they get back into the cat control? Because Hunter's already starting to retreat towards box. Holds it off, and Avangar, well, they seem like they want to head in through CT spawn. This is not gonna make their job any easier. Long players have to come back so that they can establish ramp control. Bomb nearly halfway gone already. Pistol players just kind of stuck out into the open. Esperanto's gonna activate first. He's got himself 2. The CZ's good for 1. Letney's gonna drop down low. P2000 for Sanji. And oh yeah, it's gonna come down to it. Nexa in the corner. He's got Buster. The time is ticking quick. And it's
Can he get it?
So close. He's gonna jump on and it comes down to the wire. But Sanji's got it!
Wow.
Avangar 14!
We saw what happened in that situation previously. Hunter getting the 2 Mac 10 kills, slightly better guns there, but a couple of insane 1-Ds from Esperanto to make a worse buy look even more powerful.
Man, and we're thinking to ourselves, like, they can't use their bread and butter. They can't do their cat play. The one time they're afforded the catwalk control that they had at one point been so adamantly playing for, and they still managed to work it with pistols. That really scares me if I'm Avangar. It's like, listen, look what they can do with such minimal, bits of hardware.
I'm surprised they do the 3-2 into
right.
B, you know? I guess they're really confident about their A retakes, but yeah, they let that one go close, and the last time that happened, they lost.
And if I'm Valiance now, I mean, you've got 3 remaining pauses, Avangar sit on 14 rounds while you have 11. You think to yourself, like, how can we do that again? And how can we do it with guns?
Yeah, and if I'm Avangar, I'm like, well, okay, just 3-2 until otherwise necessary. If I'm thinking we got to rely on 2 players to be able to hold B, period. Maybe getting kills at mid could be an answer. So even the utility damage did not look convincing at all for Avangar. That baits out a smoke. Somewhat valuable. A lot more coverage here from the CTs. I guess the other problem was they were weak on mid to B. So maybe a 2-1-2, but more dedicated towards the side as opposed to like Sanji, who's over at the car. You can see where the weakness is, I guess. It's probably be a good idea for Valiance to work out mid to B. I think it's obvious. And Jame is on Cat.
We've seen him just single-handedly shut down these cat pushes from this very same position. Stands on the ledge, just waits for them to come over.
He's trying to make it seem like he smoked himself out. It's kind of cute.
And he just sprints back to his teammates. I'm kind of surprised that after an eco round like that from Valiance, that Avangar are willing to give them so much room on catwalk. If only Valiance knew. I mean, they can try to screw over Jame by taking long control first, but they're walking into a double pit setup.
Yeah, Fitch is just gonna stay tucked in too.
Sanji, good mow down. That first Osprey, gets himself 2 kills. Letney's not going to check pit, so here comes Fitch. He activates, nearly throws away the opportunity, but he's grabbed himself a double as well. Esperanto in from Catwalk, hopes to hit James' head, and James just crouches back behind ramp. He's just going to buy his time. Esperanto's got to get going, and the flank's there for it. Avangar have secured 15. It's OT at the least here in map 3.
Proving to be a strong force now in the later portion of this map. Looking to wrap this up as well. Very strong here on the CT side. And if you think about that, that's actually an insane read that they had. They had the double stack towards long.
Right.
But
we haven't seen that until now.
And it was just a 30-second execution. Basically, Avangar did not move the entire time, and Valiance went right to them. So a great call there from Avangar to take match point.
Wow, look at this aggression. Letney's already got himself close smoke. Sanji, wild spray, does a lot of damage, but doesn't pick up any kills. And Buster, well, he's looking to trade this back, but his attention's turned. And by leaving tunnel open, we have Valiance stampeding into the B site. This looks like they're around easy, Mohan.
Yeah.
Easy.
Just a couple of failures there. Letney doesn't even get killed, so they won't even attempt the retake. Moving back into spawn, Nex is going to know about this. Try to meet them halfway. Looking for those one taps, but he can't find them. Next player up here, Esperanto on the ramp.
Cost starting to stack up.
Yeah, it's going pretty good here.
Like, bomb's only halfway gone. There's actually a chance.
Oh my god, yeah.
Bro, there's a chance they just run this.
Holy.
What do you have to lose?
Well, no, they can't actually defuse, right?
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Go, go, go. If they don't stop, Letney's gonna go towards mid. This does, no, okay, I'll let it go. They are just gonna blow up with bomb, but they themselves did wonder, right? Based on the amount of effort they put into getting close.
I think what's most important is Valiance just won 1 round, so they don't have a lot of money, so now they can barely buy anything. Avangar have lots of money, so they couldn't even afford to chase that hard in the exits. That's the most important part. Like, what the? Valiance won the round, they have not enough for any grenades.
Wadu.
Wadu, heck?
6 straight CT rounds. This second half has been so streaky. It began with 5 rounds for Valiance. You're thinking to yourself, oh my god, they're gonna do it. Then 6 out of Avangar before finally, just now, Valiance picked up that last one. And just barely.
I like the CSI music while you...
Could be the final round, my friends, of our semi-finals. But you know Valiance aren't going to go down without a fight.
But look at this. They have no damage grenades whatsoever. And they lose the opening kill. They go for long control. They have 1 MAC-10. They don't even have 2 smokes for the cross.
Nope. So there will be a gap no matter what. Elevator boost puts Fitch in position.
Whoa, he's not aware that they could be that close.
James got to hit this first one. Smoke's going to obscure his vision, and he's actually allowed a player to cross over the ramp. Now he hits Nexa through the edge of the wall. Fitch is going to take some damage. Wow, James. The ball's on this man. And Hunter's up on ramp, fire at his feet. Otto's going to kill Kicker at least. Fitch pinned into the back of Catwalk with low health. Otto's going to go one further, but he tries to trudge into the CT spawn. It falls on Mr. Kovac. Hunter, looking to make the family proud, is going to walk up and try to clear Fitch first. This could be an easy kill, and it is. It costs him too much HP, though. 15 health left, and the bomb's down on ramp. He's going to be so exposed versus Buster, who breaks them. It's Avangar and Furia in the finals. Damn, Mohan, did this one have to go the distance, though. This could have been over so long ago, and yet Valiance gave us such a lopsided Inferno, such a whooping even versus Avangar. It looked like they could have closed, but there you go. Avangar versus Furia.
Yeah, a really, really good try there. And, you know, a lot of us thought it would probably be Avangar to look a little bit stronger, especially after winning the first map. Inferno was a weird one. We'll have to forget about that, shake it off.
What a write-off.
We got a finals coming up, and it's the one that everybody wanted.
Yeah, I think it's one that a lot of people would have expected, and Furia looked shaky on the first day, but they definitely look better today, better than Avangar did. So I think Avangar have to take this opportunity to turn things around, keep themselves composed, keep themselves cool. That's Launders and Scrawny out. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, thank you very much, guys. I mean, looking at that series, it was really interesting to watch it go from that first map into the second one. It was like, what happened?
Yeah, dude,
What
it's like
changed?
Avangar stole train. You're like, all right, 2-0, it's in the cards, here we go. And then, no, like Inferno was an absolute disaster for Avangar,
It was
for
what,
being honest.
14-1 at half.
Yeah, I mean, they somehow made this miraculous comeback effort where they got right to the brink of you believing before they finally lost. Like, they hadn't quite got enough rounds yet to where they were actually dangerous, but they were right there, then they finally did lose. But, man, Dust2, that was quite the back-and-forth affair.
For sure, and I'd just like to point out that Avangar only won 1 out of the 6 pistols in this series, and so that definitely had a huge effect on their momentum and their ability to close out these games. And kudos to them, though. I mean, they were down 14-1, but they brought it back to 10-16. It's not that bad, and I think that definitely helped them to posture for this Dust2 win.
Yeah, and even Dust2 didn't start out that great. I think they were
No.
down like 6-1, 5-1, something like that on their T side. Then they really rallied and got some good
Kickert.
efficient trading going. Yeah, Kickert was
God,
really the one.
Kickert showed
He was
up.
actually quiet all series long
Yeah.
up until basically that point on Dust2 to basically save them and give them a finals appearance. So tip your hat to him.
The man's had 31 kills and 170 ADR at the end of that match, Dust.
That's pretty unreal numbers.
And now James coming into that second map had a pretty impressive train. Obviously, like the all presence is going to be a little bit strong, but then basically everyone fell silent on Avangar's side.
For sure. I mean, they had definitely a quiet moment, but losing 14-1, it definitely will make you start to wonder, oh boy, what's going on? But James looked sharp. I mean, on train, I think he missed 1 shot out of every single off shot that he hit. So, I mean, yeah, James looking very sharp.
And we even saw it here. He
This
puts that shot, and then he
shotgun-
runs through the smoke and hits him with the no scope. He ends up dying on the edge of that smoke, but still, I mean, it was James that was largely responsible for like that all presence being so dominant. Taking a look at the scoreboard, you can kind of see how the numbers stacked up. You guys mentioned Kicker. He finishes 85 and 52 with 81.7 ADR across all 3 maps.
You know what I got to do? I got to point out Sanji. He was the #1 rated player for his team, and he's not even the guy that we normally talk about. Normally, it's guys like James and Kickert, and yeah, they definitely showed up. Kickert particularly on Dust2, James particularly on Train, but Sanji was kind of that consistent force throughout the series, and he comes in for Kriz, and he gets to take all the same spots, so no one else had to shift, and he's been able to embrace that. He came from a team that didn't really have much exposure himself as an individual, not much experience. This is a big semifinals match where the going's getting tough. I mean, you got wrecked on Inferno, even Dust2's getting a little bit dicey, and the fact that, he was still able to shine through despite the, lack of experience, it's pretty crazy stuff. So I just want to, point Sanji out a little bit there, show him some love.
For sure, and I mean, to take that even a little bit further, Sanji is the one, as you mentioned, they were down a little bit on Dust2. It was looking a little scary for Avangar there for a moment, and then Sanji comes out with the deagle, gets a 1 deagle to entry, then follows up with another one, opens up that B bomb site, and gives Avangar that pistol round win.
Well, we do have Fitch standing by for an interview following up that series. Fitch, congratulations on the win, but why don't you tell me what was going through your team's head coming into second half of Inferno? What was going on?
Hi, so Inferno was totally like fucked up,
We knew what you wanted to say. We read the lips. Don't
So
worry.
We got
was
it.
trying to come back like on the second half, but I did some mistake. Like they just killed me on Arch, and they took my gun and killed all my teammates. So that's why we lost the Inferno, probably.
Yeah, it seemed like they just kept 4-man stacking you everywhere, and you just kind of never could find your way around all the utility they were using. And Dust2 didn't start out that well either for you guys on your T side. You were down like 5-1 or 6-1 or something like that. What was kind of the key talk that you guys had to kind of turn that half around on your T side, Dust2?
So let's be honest, it's really hard to play against these guys always. I mean, for me, exactly. So, like, I don't know how we just keep winning, like, against them, but they're good. So I really respect these guys. And Dust2 is like, Dust2 was our like best map like 2 or 3 months ago, but right now it's like changed somehow. I don't know. And you just saw everything, so I cannot like comment or say something about
I completely understand. Maybe you can comment on this one, though. Sanji obviously is the new player to the team. He came in for Krizen, who is having some health issues, and you just announced that he's kind of a permanent member going forward. He played really well throughout this series and throughout this tournament. What's it been like to have someone like him be able to come in, and very quickly already have a lot of impact?
Mm-hmm. So Sanji is like, he performs like really good right now. So he's the young, and he's good. I don't know how to like explain you guys, but when we played some pracs before, he was like I don't know, he was like, yo guys, I don't like to play like that. I just want to play like he did today. So
All right, well, congratulations on the victory. You guys are going to be facing off against Furia in the grand finals. How do you feel playing against Furia, given that this is their home turf?
So the last time we played against Furia, we won on the major, like on Challenger stage or something. But we won like close game, like 16-14. They are really good right now, and they becoming better and better every time, every day probably. So we'll see. They're strong and they're young and they are hungry. So good luck for them.
All right, well, we're going to let you go. Good luck and in the grand finals later today.
Thank you, guys. See you.
All right, so Dust, I'm told you've got some fun little gadgets there you get to play with.
Indeed, I love this. Thank you so much.
I know
DreamHack.
you do.
Anyway, so we're going to show you a couple of rounds that really did win over Train for Avangar, which I think was vitally important because it was a map that they had lost the last 5 times they played it. They wound up getting bombed on Inferno, so this is actually their safety net to get into the third map on Dust2. And what you're going to see throughout these couple of rounds that we're going to go through pretty quick is just how good they use utility and how good their teamwork is, bouncing off of each other. So in this round, they purposely Molotov over here towards Ivy to ensure that there's no CT aggression possible, and then they set up the run boost on James. And it's a gimmicky type of thing. You see it sometimes, but the way that they did it, it worked out so well. As he jumps across, he's going to be able to get the pick on Esperanto. And then he's not done yet. They do some more trickery. As we're going to fast forward just a little bit here, you see that he eventually finds his way back over towards T-Connector. Hunter does get a kill with the AUG and then tries to drop back into the sandwich, but they realize that he's done this, and they had the perfect Molotov set up to flush him out. Because it goes down, he could have escaped over towards the lane, but he has to go up the ladder instead, and they boost James up on top, and he gets the kill onto Hunter. And this is basically what wins in the round. They actually spiral this, into a round victory, which helped them out because it ruined the economy of their opponent and it got them out of a tie situation. Then we'll go over to this next round really fast. You can see that the defaults kind of shifted into basically an inner stack with Sanji lurking over towards Ivy. What you're going to see them do is just kind of throw in some standard utility, but there's really good molly coverage, right? And there's deep smoke, so it really makes it a little bit harder for Valiance to start pushing forward and setting up the retake. And they did a really great job of just continuing to keep pressure on these players. They also re-smoke. You can see Fitch down here throws a second smoke. So again, they just keep slowing down the retake by staggering smoke grenades. They don't throw everything at once as they execute. They kind of wait a little while. And what this does is, even though they're starting to get chipped away at, these nades are coming in, damage is being taken. They're continuing to throw smokes towards the sidewalk area. And all the while, Sanji keeps slipping through towards Z, able to get that kill. And then from this point forward, they're able to win out the round. So I just wanted to kind of illustrate how they had some really methodical play. They had some really efficient utility usage, and they worked really well as a unit to buy time for each other, set each other up, and close out some really key rounds on Train that helped them win this series.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen on the second map.
No, it didn't, but it helped them on Dust2, so it's all good.
I mean, just looking at that second map, I would assume if you're Avangar, you kind of just write that one off. Like, you're just like, okay, yes, it happened. Let's not worry about it. We still won the series. Let's move into this, grand finals without really thinking about Inferno. Do you think that that's going to affect the vetoes at all?
I don't think so. I mean, Avangar has to take that with a grain of salt. It was a 14-1 first half, and you heard Fitch, he kind of blamed himself for losing that match, but you can't really do much when you only have the wiggle room of 2 rounds for an entire half, right? And so even though they were posturing for that comeback, I think every round that they grinded out and practiced and kept butting their heads into their enemies, I think these kinds of rounds is what's going to prepare them for the final, actually.
And to actually answer your question, I think the bigger war they have to think about is Vertigo. You just saw Furia dominate that map whenever Sharks picked it into them, so you know that they're pretty good on it. You know that you want to ban Nuke because Furia are pretty good on Nuke. Does that mind game you at all? Like, do you think, oh man, like what if they first pick Vertigo against us? Do we have anything prepared? So I don't know if Furia would do that much of a gamble, but that definitely I think is more important than what you saw in this series for the map pick ban.
I mean, like you said it before. It's like a game of chicken. Who's going to be the one to ban it first? And I don't know if either team is really going to be the one to pick it, but I don't know if either one's going to be the one to ban it.
It'll definitely get floated if it doesn't get first pick. So I would expect it to be like the very last ban or something if it doesn't wind up getting played as a third map.
Very likely. We can take a look at the playoff bracket just so we can see how things broke down today. Obviously, we only had 2 games today, as it is the semifinals, and we'll be moving into the grand finals later. Furia took down Sharks 2-0. The Vertigo pick that we got to see was very fast. We really didn't get to see too much of Vertigo because it was a bit of a blowout. And then Avangar and Valiance go the distance, all 3 maps, double-digit rounds for both teams in multiple maps. And now we'll be seeing our grand final.
It's
Avangar
actually crazy. We've seen so many blowouts this tournament. Like, really, that was the only close series we had all tournament. All the best of ones had some one-sided games, and all the other best of 3s were 2-0s.
Blowouts in the sense that it was 2-0, but not blowouts in the sense that the maps were blowouts. Because for the most part, the maps were a little bit closer.
Right. Fair enough. Hopefully, we'll have a good grand finals as well. I'm hoping for a 3-mapper.
Yeah, because when we were in our best of 1 stage, we actually had a lot of close games. We had a lot of like 16-13. I think the biggest blowout from day 1 was what, like 16-11?
Something like that, yeah.
We had some upsets on day 1 for sure.
But like nothing was like complete landslide victory like we saw in that Furia Sharks game where Vertigo just spilled out of control, or even looking at Inferno in that last series where it was basically a blowout. Like, yeah, this final scoreline was I think 16-10, but it doesn't really reflect what happened because it was 14-1.5 and there was a bit of a comeback.
I think you summed that up quite nicely there, Bach.
Thanks, bud. Maybe I should have your seat. You want to sit here?
Yeah, dude.
I have enough wiggle room. I can. Do you want to?
I don't know if I have enough.
Now everyone gets to see how
Here,
short
let's
we
just
actually are. We don't have our.
No,
we don't
you
have
wanna
our.
switch?
Oh boy.
Want me
There we
to close out this segment?
Yeah, go ahead. You close it now. No, just do it with your headset.
Can the
You can
producer
do it.
talk to
Yeah.
me?
Go ahead. You send it to a
All
break.
right, how's it
Dust.
going?
You got this.
Do we descend to a break now?
Blah blah blah. Notes, stuff, stats.
Yeah, go ahead. Break it
maps.
down. So what did you think about that series?
I think that you said everything exactly as it was supposed to be.
So you thought really well? What do you
Yeah.
think about its analysis so far, Potter?
It's great. Bach
10
should
out of
definitely
10.
be an analyst. He's
You
done
think
the
so?
bow tie.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
It's intelligence right there. +5. I'm told that when you're bald, it exposes your brain to the atmosphere more, so that's why I'm so much better at doing this than you are.
So what are you looking forward to most in these grand finals, Bach?
I'm looking forward to a Furia victory. I feel like this is
Ooh.
going to be, I pander to the home crowd audience. I actually do think Furia is going to take it, but we'll talk about that after the break. Let's switch back. This is weird.
Are you sure? All right.
Yeah, this is weird. We are going to throw things to a break, though, guys. We do appreciate you enjoying our antics here on the desk, but when we come back after this extended break, it is going to be Furia and Avangar here on the stage for the grand finals of DreamHack Rio 2019. Stay tuned.